I've been remembering an experience I had 3 decades ago during my first summer serving as a counselor at Lutheridge. It was the weekend, the 23 hours between campers leaving on Saturday and new campers arriving on Sunday. And my friend said, "Let's go camping," which was weird because I thought living in cabins that we were already camping. But no, they meant camping in a tent in the woods with no bathroom. Of course, I agreed I would have gone anywhere with them, even camping. I met them at the car with my pillow, sleeping bag, and toiletry kit. Who knew that there would be little need for a toiletry kit? Several hours later, we were deep in the woods, and they had set up camp, built a fire, put up the tent, and were busy cooking dinner while I sat. I did a lot of sitting. I was way out of my comfort zone with absolutely no idea how to be helpful. It was not until much later in the evening when I realized that all 6 of us, 3 girls and 3 boys, would be sleeping in this one tent that looked like it was designed for 2. We slept boy, girl, like spoons. And at the time, I remember being grateful that my mother could not see this sleeping arrangement. She would not have been pleased. But in that tent, in the night, far from civilization, safe from the world, sleeping side by side with friends, my stomach full of food I did nothing to prepare, I felt safe, at peace, sheltered. My heart was full of God's love, revealed to me in my friends' care and kindness. Psalm 91, verses 3 and 4 says, "God rescues you from hidden traps, shields you from deadly hazards. God's outstretched arms protect you and give you shelter." God's outstretched arms protect us and give us shelter. That's what this community of faith is for me, shelter. That's what our life together at Trinity is for me, shelter. Shelter from the chaos of the world, shelter from my fears and anxieties, shelter from my doubts and insecurities, shelter from loneliness and isolation, shelter from the daily burdens and worries of a global pandemic. Of course, I feel sheltered in this place, our beautiful sanctuary with the stained glass windows, the artfully crafted ceiling, the chancel behind me, where so many significant events in our life together have taken place. Baptisms, communion, confirmation, weddings, funerals. But the shelter I feel is not in this place. It is in these people. It's the shelter I find in you, in our life together. It's the kind thoughts and words and prayers. It's the food taken when there is a crisis. It's the shared history, the shared convictions, the shared passions. It's this life together in community that sustains and strengthens, encourages, and blesses me. It's our love for God and our love for one another that brings refuge and strength. Especially now, when everything seems so out of kilter, up in the air, uncertain and unsettled, I rely more and more on the shelter of God, the shelter of our life together in community. I remember that little tent in the woods. I remember that feeling of peace, contentment, safety. I remember the joy of living in Christian community at Luther Ridge. I remember and give thanks for the shelter from the burdens of the world. This week, may you find shelter from your worries, your grief, your anxiety, your fear. May God and this community of faith be that shelter from the storm, that reassurance in these days of uncertainty. Trust God. Trust God's outstretched arms to protect you, to give you shelter.